Hey Loonicorns! Welcome back to Thrive with Lou. My name is Anna Luena. I am a musician, teacher, healer, and I'm manifesting my best reality. I would love to invite you to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you never miss my awesome content. And go stream my original music on all major platforms. Join me live on IG every Friday around 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for my Vocal Warmies Friday, where we will go over vocal warm-ups and I will give you a new technique every week. We'll work on things like articulation, breath control, all that good stuff. So join me there on Instagram Live every Friday. Alright you guys, so today we're going to be talking about tips I wish I knew before I was a music teacher. So just to give you a little backstory about myself, I've been a swimmer my whole life. I've done music my whole life. I started teaching swimming when I was about 11 years old with my mom. I didn't really have a choice. Long story short, I have a lot of years under my belt as a teacher. After I graduated music school, I got my associates in guitar performance. So after I graduated music school, I decided to share my gift of teaching and extend it into music as well. So I teach guitar, I give vocal lessons, I do beginner piano. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really awesome. So I wanted to share some tips that I wish I knew before I started as a music teacher. So definitely a huge tip that I have for anybody starting out as a music teacher is to make sure that you evaluate your students. This video is specifically for kids. So if you have children that you're teaching music to, this video is specifically for kids. The first thing you do is evaluate your student, right? Consider the age of the student, consider the age of the child. If the child is 5 years old, they're only going to have about a 5-minute attention span. So you need to make sure that you have quite a bit of activities in your schedule, in your agenda, to keep them busy, to keep them interested, to keep them learning. And there's a lot of ways that you can keep kids engaged. What I've found is just being okay with kind of going with the flow sometimes. It's great to have a plan, but I'll freestyle from the plan. I'll go a different way sometimes if maybe the child is not engaging that day, or maybe they're a little tired, or it's been a long day for them, or maybe they're just kind of grumpy. Who knows? We all have off days, so sometimes you're going to have to adapt and stray away from the original plan, and that's perfectly okay. And I think being able to be flexible and know each student is different and special and unique in their own way, that will take you a long way, and that'll help a lot. Okay, also analyze their current skill level. Have they had music lessons in the past? Are they currently taking lessons with somebody else? Are they, maybe they're taking lessons with you for vocal lessons, but they have a guitar instructor as well. So you want to consider things that instructor is already working on with them, and how you can kind of build together. And sometimes, you know, you can correlate with that other teacher. I usually don't. I'll kind of get a gist of what that student is working on with that teacher, and then I'll take that into consideration when I'm building my own, you know, schedule for them. For instance, if you know that they're already working on a song with their other teacher, you can build off of that song. So things along that things along that nature. And also, so a big part of teaching kids are the parents, all right? You get a wide variety of parents that you interact with. You know, some can be a little overbearing. We all know those parents. Some are really easygoing. Some honestly just have no idea about music. They've never taken a music class in their life. They just want to get their kid experienced and well-rounded in the arts, so they'll reach out to you for like a basic music class. I always like to talk about the goals with the parent, you know, and get an idea of what they're expecting out of their lessons with, you know, their child. Basically, what are they expecting to get from you as a teacher, because each teacher has their own unique set of qualities and skills that we bring to the table. So what are they going to you for that, you know, they can't get anywhere else? And that's the truth, because everybody is unique and everybody is different. So they're just going to get a different experience from you than they would from me. And that doesn't mean that there aren't enough people for us to all have students. You know, there's enough people to go around. I want to help make you a better teacher for your students so I can stop stealing them. It's like, just kidding. But yeah, talking about those goals with the parents, making sure that you know that you keep them in the loop also. You know, I'll come up with like a plan for the student and let the parent know, like, hey, this is where we expect to be after this week, or setting those long-term goals. Like, for instance, something that I like to do on my very first lesson, this is where you're evaluating, is the very first time that you see them, you're asking these questions, because if you don't, it'll bite you in the butt later on. So when I see them, I have that talk with the parent a lot of the time before I even see them, before we meet together. But when I'm in the actual evaluation with the student, I'll ask them what their interests are. You know, what style of music do they like already? Who do they listen to? You know, what gets them up? What makes them happy? What do they get excited about doing? Because it's a team effort, especially for a child. It's very important that you make it a team effort. Like, it's equal parts on the teacher and the parent, because they're going to have to be the teacher when you're not there sometimes, you know? And so when you get the child excited about what they're doing, it makes everybody's job a whole lot easier. And it makes it fun for the kid, you know? You want them to have the best, most quality experience possible. So there you go.
What else did I want to say?
My last step for evaluating your younger students is to consider in the plan, make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. So you want to get those materials that you need ahead of time. You want to make sure that you give them stuff to take home, to see, to hold, to touch, to write with. It's very important, because they're going to internalize that. They're going to visualize these tools that you're giving them now, and that's creating a strong foundation for them later. So if you want to be a successful teacher, having the proper tools and take-home materials is essential. So make sure you're doing your homework as well for your student and getting that sheet music for them, or if you guys are learning, you know, whole notes and half notes, make sure that you have some materials for them to actually take home and go over with their parents later maybe. And also, that's a good look for you. Like, who doesn't want their kids to get the most out of the learning experience that they're paying, you know, good money for? So yeah, I hope those tips and tricks help when you are working with younger students. I know it can be tough. Just make sure that you stay patient. Make sure that you're patient, you stay flexible, and you can switch it up and have fun, because that's the reason why we do this, is, you know, to give other people a higher quality of life. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Thrive with Lou. Next week, we will be talking about evaluating adults and how you should come up with a game plan to teach adults music. Thank you so much. Have a blessed week.